This is a first big opportunity for Complexity to do tons of damage over to G2. I mean, Heavy God's got 6,200 at the bank, so he's doing all right. Snax has 1,500 left over after his buy. But money is low on quite a few players on this G2 side, so they're going to start laboring to put strong weapons out in the field of play. If Complexity can win this one, get a little bit of control back in the big picture of the match.
Oh, it's quick from m0NESY again. Halzerk this time getting picked away. He took damage though, m0NESY. Look at this play from Hunter. Through the beast smoke. Into the site. Grim not ready for it. Important that JT was able to respond. Gets behind the obelisk just in time because Malb had pushed out towards jail. And JT goes back into that fight. This time Malb will maul him. Complexity fall straight away.
Yeah, and there's a little change of pace in this round from G2. m0NESY's not going to miss that shot. 60 swings right out into him.
Never miss those.
Just the ferociousness of how quick that round victory was.
Well, it's a great call from Hunter because, I mean, they just get the pick in middle, right? So, you know, you might not rotate immediately, but there's a chance in Hunter's brain where he's saying maybe that rotator from the B bomb site went back to get to Temple really quickly. But still the aggression through the smoke that Grim can't possibly predict. A beautiful opening kill from Hunter that puts so much pressure on JT. So 6-2, and Complexity held off of winning rounds in a row.
Let's go.
Yeah, frustrating for the CT economy, as you said. If they'd been able to pick this round up, G2 would have been the ones starting to go on the back foot money-wise. But with that kind of recovery and as many players staying alive as G2 were able to sustain, their T-side woes go away.
And the biggest issue for Complexity right now is so much conversation has been about, oh, nice quick shot from m0NESY.
They both landed them. It looked like Halzerk hit his through the
edge
wall.
Of the wall, perhaps, yeah. I mean, the biggest issue is with the success m0NESY's had with the AWP early on and some opening picks, negating some of the aggression. He's 3-0 in opening duels. Like, some of the aggressive stuff that Complexity likes to do on this map is getting taken away from them. Those moves that have been so impactful.
You start to feel suppressed.
And a lot of it, too, comes down to, like, mid-round aggressive ideas from Complexity, but if you've already had a player picked off and playing 4v5 with 1 minute and 15 seconds, it's harder to be aggressive.
More pressure on Nyx in this round with the only rifle. Goes to the A main play aggressively. Gets information they're close by. They're going to keep the pressure up, though, G2. They're coming through the smoke, and 2 kills instantly. No one else home for Complexity. All 3 players outside of the B bomb site. G2 are going to go through the motions with the utility, but they will soon realize they have 7 rounds.
And now it's going to be about establishing your escape route, because Complexity might want to line up to get some exit kills. Try and snag a couple free AK-47s as they exit the bomb site. And that positioning will be over towards Rugs for Grim. Halzerk down the stairs to punish anyone exiting through A main.
Do nothing.
Making sure they just get rid of any spoils of war that might blow the way of Complexity.
Easy round.
G2 will retreat to the beach. Grim looking for a steal away. The AK caged in.
I bet you could stick your arms through those grates.
Let's see.
Oh,
yeah, just like that, Jason.
Yeah, just like that.
Fuck.
Well, they made it difficult. They had to go and find it, and well done.
They did their
They
best.
got the AK.
Yeah, it's a valiant effort. They might be a little bit bummed when they hear that AK-47 shooting this round. They're like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Hold on.
They added a few extra steps, but you know, we're looking at Complexity needing to get a few more CT rounds here. We're getting to the later stages of the first half, and obviously 2 rounds is not going to be enough. So
I think what's more worrying than the scoreboard is oh, hold the phone. We got some aggression. Okay, Halzerk has an angle. Yeah, Grim really swinging for it, but backing off when he sees nothing. So nothing gained. Like, you have the information at this point, but I mean, G2 can still be there and you can't do anything about it. So nothing from Complexity off that push.
a lot of risk, not a whole lot of reward.
I was going to say, what's more worrying, I think, than the scoreboard to me is I've seen like Sixy in some heads-up duel that we've been seeing win throughout this tournament that he's really struggled with, just 1v1, like mid-range fights. Aim hasn't felt as sharp. Same for Grim, but I think his is more at the B bomb site with the different number of styles of hits that G2 has shown them.
Yeah.
and the confusing nature of kind of lurking through some of these smokes, I think Grim just hasn't been able to find a clean fight.
Well, they do decide to go towards B again. It's not exactly the strongest setup here. You got JT committed to connector. He's used his final piece of utility and it's useless.
Yeah, it's gone into the smoke.
And he's only got an MP9, but he's up against Snacks. And Snacks just about comes out on top of that jewel.
It's a pinch towards the A bomb site, at least for the moment. Honestly, with the bomb, who's playing support with the op, so he can actually back off if they feel too much resistance. There's 3 defenders here, Halzerk, Nix, and Sixy.
25 seconds to try and delay this. Sixy throwing the grenade in, taking away the first, cracking the legs from beneath him, but Hunter comes back in, and with a hit heavy from A main, it is Complexity's defense that has disappeared on that A bomb site.
Yeah, it got melted, didn't it? 1 kill from Sixy, but Hunter swings left. Pathing is just so strong and destroys 2 defenders. Never expected that kind of a punch to come from camera.
Already m0NESY searching for that saving player of Grim. Might catch m0NESY looking the wrong way. There's the headshot. He'll get to that AWP. But whether or not he can hold on to it is a whole different story, because Heavy God's sprinting through spawn to try and get back to him.
Yeah, and Snacks is lurking up through dark right now into the B bomb site as well. I don't know if Snacks will have time unless he starts running. Grim, just a few seconds left to survive. Snacks is here, knife out. Bomb explosion might have hit the footsteps. 8-2.
Yeah, Hunter did have a pretty crappy game on Anubis the last time, didn't he, against Complexity?
True.
He's feeling better now.
He should be 8-4, leading the way for G2. Obviously getting out of a round where you get all the impact with the opening frags. Here's Snacks finding the first kill, but these 2 right here are what sealed it. Spray down, instant headshot onto Sixy, and Nix trying to find some kind of safety, runs right into Heavy God, and Complexity knocked off their game on Anubis. This map that has become their second option after Train when that's taken away from them.
Halzerk's aggressive A play stopped by Heavy God. Doesn't get easier because m0NESY's holding for the second peak. So 5v3, couple of seconds into the round. 9-2 being teed up.
I don't think there's anything crazy that we've seen in this of G2 reading anything, but I think one of the issues that Complexity is going to have to start figuring out and learning is, you know, at an event like this where you've made this kind of a run and you've taken the scalps that you have, teams are going to look into you a lot more than they did previously. Like, they're always going to look into you, and they're all going to try and notice some tendencies and some habits of individual players. But when you start upsetting teams on this run and playing close games against G2, and you're upsetting FaZe, you're upsetting Aurora, previously Eternal Fire, you're beating Falcons and Furia, people are going to take note and put that little bit of extra effort and time into the research.
Well, you definitely hoped for that in the semifinals. And right now, a different story on Anubis. It was a tied game at half just a few days ago, but we're looking at a very different story at the moment.
Yeah, anything but tied, really.
Yeah,
this is maybe the complete opposite.
Well, Complexity might be tied up.
Yeah.
Restrained. And G2 are not going to let them out.
But really, just no fragging. Like,
there's no one hitting back.
Look at the kills across Complexity. Halzerk, JT, and Nix have 4. Sixy and Grim have 3. There's just not any frags coming out for the Complexity side. And I mean, as we all know, that kind of makes it impossible to 1, win rounds, and 2, stop anything coming in your direction.
Yeah, especially, you know, it's depressing when Grim's been the second highest rated player of the event. Halzerk's been the 3rd highest rated player of the event.
And Sixy's number 10.
Well, right now they're getting their ass handed to them by the number 1 rated player at the event in m0NESY, Heavy God, just in behind Halzerk. So, you know, it's been a very tough first half here for Complexity, but it would make it all the more impressive, Jason, if they pull it back.
True.
There's that.
They better get started now. Better get it started out of this pause in the action. Round 12, last of the first half, and then we're going to switch sides.
Juggling the AK-47 to Snacks.
Yeah, Snacks going to take a dark peek.
Shocking, really. No one from Complexity feels comfortable enough to fight that with what they've got at the moment, so they got an easy opener.
Big risk for Complexity in this round, too. They're playing a solo B defense. JT, the only one here. So they've doubled up in middle. They've obviously doubled up at A, which they've been through a lot of this half. Nix and Sixy. Oh, Sixy's going to push.
Oh, he is. Trying to get away with one here at the window, but he goes into the open. m0NESY got the early warning system from his teammate spotting that push forward. Grim getting burned, has to drop back behind the double doors.
He's pulling Halzark closer to him right now.
Now the pressure, the spam coming in as well. Grim taking bullets, not reacting, not panicking. Stays put in the corner. Halzark has to help him, but Halzark's gone. Dink landed, not enough damage though. Mobs to react immediately as Grim goes down after one. JT and Nyx separated by the entire distance of the map. And no matter where G2 decide to finish this, they are heavily favored to just get in with no resistance.
m0NESY's having one hell of a game right now. You can tell he wants to play his future teammates in the grand final. That feels like such a weird sentence to say.
Yes, it is.
All right, JT back at the bomb site. 2 coming from Dark, 2 coming from main. Your rotation is here. Nyx has arrived, but can you guys actually do anything? Yep, there's 2.
Well, they're right back into it all of a sudden with those 2 kills, but Hunter still alive, Mobs right beside him, but 15 seconds is the problem. Will that grenade get JT? It won't. Nyx, here's the tap. It's not the commit. He goes into the peak, but the bomb is down, and so not enough time. Hunter not able to get to it, needs the kills, and they run away. Nyx even stands and fights to close the 3rd round for Complexity.
I mean, that's 2 of Complexity's 3 rounds are Nyx having a triple kill. Those are 2 of the 3 rounds they've won, is Nyx stepping up massively and performing individually very, very strong. He's done it again to close out the half. So 3 is all Complexity will leave with on the CT side of Anubis. I know it's a T-sided map, but that doesn't feel like nearly enough.
No, especially...
Well, you're in the big leagues now.
How was your vacations there?
Oh, I needed one.
With your 10% loyalty program discount, that's $225 for the night.
Not bad.
$155 for the night.
Hold up. How?
It's easy when you know where to look.
Trivago compares hotel prices from hundreds of sites, so you can save up to 40%.
Trivago's my secret tactic.
Hotel Trivago.
Le dije, vamos a hacer maldades. Vuelvo yo te traje. Pago allá el mahones si no baila pa' que sale. Aquí están mis anormales. Que tú mueves ese nalga. Esto es pa' las nenas nuevas, pa' los nenes, pa' la tía.
But yeah, I think it is, you know, touching on it again, it is kind of a weird scenario where G2... Now, with this kind of performance, it feels easy to say that the favorites get into the final. But that's going to be... I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. It's going to be a very strange one, Jason. But I'm all aboard it. Just for the entertainment value of the whole thing.
It's going to get weird. And, you know, we like weird.
Oh.
Heavy play towards the A bomb site. They've got a smoke on Halzark, a flash on JT. That's it to get them in. But they got to get past m0NESY's duels. And he's got a Heavy God baiting.
Let's see. m0NESY Joel Beretta is primed and ready, but not able to get a single kill, nor will Heavy God. So Complexity get through the initial defense, and they're right into the site.
And it's pretty much the exact thing in the first half as well, where it's like, good luck. You know, they're in the bomb site, 5 players. Smoke is up in camera. Like, you're not winning this round if you're G2. You're not retaking this.
Just too clean on the initial thrust forward.
Yep, you needed some kills, obviously, out of m0NESY and Heavy God to make this doable in the post plant, and you can see JT's already come out to take everything away from G2.
Yeah, you're not going to get that Kevlar. At least in JT's mind, but not able to land too much here on Snax. Receives a lot of bullets. Now JT goes back to be finished off, but Grim's flanking around the backside. Snax's attention was elsewhere. So Grim gets an easy pick on Snax. Oop, timing to look away as that Mobs peek comes in, but he gets the instant goosh, and so Mobs no longer confident to fight. He'll fall back, and Hunter right at the end secures another kill, but Complexity... extra 1 to 2. Not bad at all. But 4 rounds for Complexity picked up. That's the first step. Super long road back into this game, but in terms of grabbing the pistol, they do it easily.
Let's see if they can handle the conversion. Things can always get a little bit, a little strange in the round like this. We'll see G2. They're going to invest into the round, try and stop Complexity from building up any momentum, prevent the comeback from even starting. So smokes are out in round 14. Complexity, a lot of bodies towards the B bomb site. Looks like Halzark's going to set them up behind the MAC-10 to lead their way into the bomb site.
Well, Mobs has got the first. Hunter got caught switching back to his weapon from the utility he once had, and so 60 Grim collapse upon the B defense. And so G2 setting up. The smoke comes in towards Connector. It's not looking too likely for them to get into a competitive spot from here.
There we go. It's a nice shot from Grim. A little of those mechanics back in action on this T side. Going to be at 5 when all is said and done in this round. It's Snax, m0NESY, Heavy God just looking to grab some weapons in the save.
You know, in terms of having the checklist of things you need to accomplish if you are going to pull off a huge comeback, Complexity ticking the first few boxes.
Well, obviously pistol round, second round is nice. I think even, you know, we'll say in this kind of a situation where 3 weapons are brought forward, the third round is going to be very nice as well, because they'll still have some elements on the map that are dangerous from G2. I think the biggest element, if you want to make a comeback happen, is in the fragging department. You know, like, you just need people to be killing things.
Yes.
At this point, you need some individuals to step up, and I know that sounds pretty reductive, but Grim at 7 kills, Halzerk at 4 kills, 60 at 4 kills. The last time, when they played in the group stage, this was really like a story, like m0NESY and Grim were going head-to-head. m0NESY is 67 and 44 in that series. Grim was 67 and 54 in that series. So Grim was at least getting enough done to kind of negate the impact of m0NESY, and it's nowhere close this time.
A lot of the games that I remember from Grim, he got off to a really hot start, right? We see him rack up like 9-2. He was just fragging out, and he continued that, whereas now he has to try and... He started slow, and he's got to build up into the game, and we'll see if he's capable of doing so in such a high-stakes game here in the semifinals. Timeout taken. First timeout here for G2.
So they've given some extra pistols out. No armor on Hunter. Hovering right around that 2,000 mark, except for m0NESY, who wants to be able to afford the AWP. Not the most difficult round in the world for Complexity, but not without its chances to go south. The stack up in middle for G2 on defense. Snacks, m0NESY, and Hunter. Heavy God at the A bomb site. Mobs over at the B bomb site. And Heavy God will get the first thrust of action. It's really nice to have control of A main if you're Complexity in a round like this. This early and this fast, this quick into the round. Don't have to worry about clearing it in the mid round. Don't have to worry about 5-7s being close up to you. MP9's hiding behind an angle at the box. And applies a decent amount of pressure over to G2. Hunter gets pulled away from the mid stack just as Sixy and Grim start to make their play in middle.
Well, Heavy God get the info in time for this molly to be effective. Okay, does flick the Molotov down in front of him. Now gets in an awkward fight that Nyx is going to win. And that's all the space they need for this A bomb site to work out in Complexity's favor. Then Grim gets a double in mid. Ooh. Banged out by Mobs though.
Yeah, that's a beauty of a shot with the Deeg. Smoke and AK picked up. That's a nice thing to have for the next round. So Mob's gonna try and hang on to it. 60 hunting with low HP. It's got no chance, surely.
Oh, give him a shot.
Okay.
Yeah, Mobs made it difficult for himself, really, getting close to that angle before he peaked. He had to make a huge adjustment.
That was a heavy pre-fire, wasn't it?
Yeah, and 6 rounds now for Complexity. Gap is now 3.
Okay. Well, now we're cooking. Now we're underway. First gun round between the two teams in the second half. m0NESY's going to buy his AWP. He's got armor as well. Utility and M4 is being picked up for the rest of the G2 defense. They're going to be all set. They got plenty of cash. We'll see what Complexity's first gun round is going to look like into this stronger defense. And m0NESY, with that AWP, had so much impact in the first half, tearing Complexity apart. Can he do it from the CT side as well? AWP going to start towards Temple, towards the B bomb site. In support of Hunter and Mob, Snacks in middle, Heavy got it A.
Flash into Khan, and Mob's doing the initial damage, goes into the peak, and JT's gonna lose his life. And Nyx didn't get through the smoke in time, so he has to take an awkward fight that he still wins. But m0NESY, alive at the back of the platform, going into the right side peak, that's the bomb, but he misses it, goes back. Oh, no scope attempt, not gonna land. Hunter's turn to step up and pull this back for G2, and just before that grenade sells in, he gets his 2 kills. Halzerk tagged. Moving forward into the CT smoke, Snacks is retreating. Halzerk's got time.
He's got the bomb, most importantly, so that time is a huge ally. He knows the position of Snacks from the trajectory of the Molotov that was thrown. Gonna try and wrap around him, but he could just choose.
He could just choose
to slide the camera
as well. Like, he could go with the aggressive call.
Honestly, I think it's a little bit of a bummer. Snax keeps moving out of his gaze. Like, he's actually...
And now he's gone to CT.
Yeah, he's been in a position to just kill one player and have the whole map available to him, but Snax just by sheer luck or unluck has moved away.
Well, we'll wait and see if it's lucky or unlucky. Holzer going into connector. There's Heavy God up first. Headshot in.
What?
And now checks towards Temple. Realizes Snax could have got there. And so now puts that bomb down in the site. Snax steps up again. Holzer to flip a number disadvantage round in Complexity's favor on this comeback into the half. He's looking towards the A flying through water, but Snax, did just seen the back of Holzer. He's going to track him into the corner, but Holzer's looking there now. He's got the position. Snax needs to kill him quickly, and he will. He gets that headshot. Holzer looks on in despair, and Snax will get to that defuse.
Classic Holzer desk pounding after that loss. Frustrating as well. I mean, like I said, I think it's so unfortunate. I actually think he played that clutch really, really well. When he looks back at that and sees the X-ray of Snax just turning every single corner just before he's got vision, it's going to be such a bummer because it felt like he had Snax in prime position to pick him off, run back to the A bomb site, and just have all the advantages in the world.
This is sick from Hunter, though. I mean, both of his teammates in the bomb site don't do enough initially, right? Mulbs gets traded by Nyx to that connector smoke. m0NESY misses every opportunity.
Oh, he didn't actually death slam. I thought I saw one before he rubbed his eyes. Yeah, okay.
No smash and death.
New Holzer.
Straight through middle. Getting through that smoke. Nyx applying pressure towards Heavy God. Decent position here for Complexity early on. They've pushed all the way up to the doors at mid. They've got beyond A main. How do they want to use this?
Got m0NESY to contend with. Hunter's going to join up with him. Mulbs solo B bomb site. He's just saying, I hear and see nothing. No presence. So Hunter gets double doors. m0NESY watches for the swing through window. Three players here now.
Yeah, this is about to get messy inside of middle. Sixy goes down. Holzer to trade it. Oh, Holzer, second kill on m0NESY Sniper. They needed 3 to deal with him. Now Heavy God's in the fountain, drowned out by Nyx. Realizes Hunter's coming in through camera. Stylish double kill from Nyx. And Mulbs is nowhere near the majority of the action. The bomb going into A. Grim's going to try and keep him pinned here, and Mulbs realizes he's in that fight.
Grim's lurks at this B bomb site as well throughout this tournament have been really, really solid. So just waiting behind the smoke as it fades. Mulbs slips away. Yet to see if he wants to go for this. Might just pick up the AWP on the ground and call it a day. Money for G2 is a problem. m0NESY's got 1,000 in the banks, but everyone else is dead broke. This AWP might be the only thing they have if he can hold on to it.
Now it's 2 rounds now where m0NESY's had the AWP, 0 impact. Come into the second half, 11-5, looking at 12-8 at the moment. So you've had 2 gun rounds where he's had 0 impact. This is exactly what Complexity need. And previous round, he missed shots. This time, he just gets his head blasted off by Holzer.
Yeah, some beautiful, I mean, look, you got to say that's some spicy shooting from Holzer's double and Nyx's double as well later on in the A bomb site. Beautiful shot onto Hunter as he tries to transition in.
It's got to feel so paranoid here. Mulbs is going to be pushed on so many different sides. Will he be able to hold on to it? Yes. Don't overextend. And you've got it for the next round. So throws that one on over to m0NESY. Holzer, a well-earned Mezioso fist bump.
Might be a second timeout for G2 to talk about what they want to do around this AWP. Do they really want to force buy around it at this stage of the game? Do they just want to kind of stay on pistols, go for a low buy, see if m0NESY can do a miracle for you? No timeout comes in, but we have their answer. Just pistols. A little bit of utility on Mulbs, who had already had armor and a kit from the previous round.
Well, we mentioned no impact last 2 rounds from m0NESY. This round, it has to be all of his impact.
Ended the first half with 11 kills, m0NESY. He's got 12 now, so only 1 in the second half still so far. Early going. 5 rounds of play completed since they switched sides.
Grim. Smoked blast, a little awkward. Does jump up. He gets info as well. But now he's stuck in the corner, so that re-smoke from the CTs will allow him to slightly reposition. He wants to blow it himself and have a look down into the site, but m0NESY's off. Ooh, this Molotov, could that help him out? Ooh, Grim charging through the smoke. An ambitious effort, but it's all about the A play. It's all about this A play, and Heavy God trying to drop back and stay alive, play his life. Trying to delay and allow his teammates to rotate over. If he can get anything, that's massive, but just dropping into storage. Complexity have the site.
Well, JT's going to have a little bit of pressure on him. They're all coming around. You can hear the footsteps. There's Malbs. Takes an AK away. Looked like G2 might have been considering going for this, considering the scavenge weapon and the flank they had with bodies. JT should go down to the T-spawn player. Now going to step forward with his teammate who peeks from A main. m0NESY in an engagement.
Oh, JT just couldn't get the angle. Eventually does. Snax can trade it though. A lot. Oh, we should have traded it. A lot of missed shots there.
Yeah, you don't love to see that. Op is recovered. Smile on JT's face. Complexity just 2 rounds back. So this looked like a beatdown in the first half, but Complexity's within striking distance. They're clawing it back. Nyx up to 13 kills now. 5-1 run since we switched sides.
And he's one of the players that we've heard needs a little bit more work. You know, we've been really impressed with the elevation and performance from Halzerd, from Grim, from Sixy in this tournament. Nyx has definitely had moments, but this is a great time to step up and really start to perform. He's getting put under a lot of pressure this time from Snax's window drop. Comes out on top of that duel. m0NESY to follow up here for G2. And Sixy's fumbling this inside of the smoke.
I think he wanted to drop way earlier and just got stuck.
Missed the timing now.
Yeah, wanted to punish Snax trying to fall back and just couldn't hit the window. Huge advantage for G2 with the 2-man lead in the round, 5-on-3. Op train towards middle. Complexity still spread. So really it's just going to be individuals trying to create something from their respective positions. Sixy flirting with this mid double doors.
Yeah, as soon as he does so, yeah. m0NESY's just going to peek up, nail the shot, and Halzerd JT separated for one another. The only play they really have available is Halzerd to go through connector, JT to try and come through B main. They do have space inside of the side because of the way G2 are set up. But Snax's angle is good. JT just had too much to clear. Halzerd, nice quick shot. No follow-up though. Hunter makes sure of that. 11 rounds for G2. Back to winning ways in the CT side. We'll see if they can keep this up.
There's your m0NESY impact. Double kill in the round. He does fantastic work to help shut down that attack from Complexity. 3 rounds separate these two teams. Here's the opener from Snax with his aggression. Haven't seen a whole lot of the CT aggression today. G2 did a good job of holding Complexity back and preventing their aggression from having any success, so eventually they just went away from it. G2 busting it out in targeted fashion. And a little bit of frustration now. Complexity losing their grip on this map.
They got to wrestle for it back, and they've got to do that with weaker weapons than they would like. They don't have the ult for Halzerd. They've got 2 Khalils in play, and one of them going to a fight straight away, losing his life. Nyx gets away with at least that drop headshot, but as soon as he extends into the open, m0NESY is waiting to punish the repeat. Sixy's aggressive play that he's been getting away with all tournament long, getting stopped by Snax.
Yeah, he was so excited hearing that AWP ring out in A main. He's like, oh, finally, I don't have to worry about the AWP in middle, and he still just steps into the crosshair of Snax. Right into a headshot.
It's got to be a 2v4 for Complexity to flip this back. They got a minute 10. JT up on the bridge. Once again, it's the duo of Halzerd and JT to try and do it. Impossible task into the B bomb site in the previous. This time, at least wherever they go, it's even numbers. It's a 2-2 setup.
Might be even numbers, but m0NESY's here. 16 kills, and he's been excellent throughout the map. They have 1 smoke to utilize, but in a situation like this, they might try and keep it quiet for as... Well, maybe not anymore.
m0NESY primed. No flash. No util towards heaven. It's gotta be just this smoke out to disrupt his cross-up. He even has a little gap, and that's enough. That's all he needed. A little vision of Halzerd. m0NESY closes the kill. And now JT retreating as he realizes he cannot get into this round, but he's being pushed. Malbs and Hunter are closer than he would have liked, so on his jump up to the rugs, it is his death sentence as he is toppled, and G2 go to map point.
Yeah, 4 chances to close this one out. It did get close for a stretch, but as soon as it did, G2 just had enough. Extended the lead right back out. 4 rounds in a row, Complexity have to win. 4 chances for G2 to take away their map pick of Anubis. A map they didn't have in the last series, and then move on to Dust 2 of their own. It was an overtime victory for G2 back in the group stages on Dust 2.
Perhaps something quick, simple here for Complexity with Tech-9s.
Yeah, desperate, and there's 3 defenders here as well.
Hunter needs to be careful. Back was turned to an open B main, but here they come into the site. m0NESY to hit the first mobs with him. And they destroyed him this time. Anubis may have been close. It may have been the map that Complexity won the last time they played just a few days ago. But today, G2 have decided that they're going to level up in semi-final form. And it's m0NESY that slashes his way through the first map victory in the semi.
And indeed he does. G2 Esports just getting it done. They are just in such good form right now. It's all business. For Complexity, they're going to be thinking about one that maybe got away as they look into the abyss as this series gets incredibly hard for them. But let's just talk about a fantastic G2 performance, Maui.
Yeah. They're in getting it done form, Rich. That's what G2 look like. They have brought here to PGL Bucharest from a flawless group stage to taking Complexity's map pick away from them. Just a much more well-rounded offense from the G2 side versus the last time these teams faced off against each other. I saw simplistic calls. I saw 5-man B executes. This was more well-rounded. The defaults were more spread out. They covered their bases so much more, so the little antics from Complexity couldn't really occur.
Yeah, I agree with Maui 100%. I think one of the things they did very well was split pressure, like Mal's being able to pressure middle. They varied how many numbers they were actually having at middle, so sometimes Mal could kind of just puff his chest and solo do it, but sometimes they'd stack like 3 or 4 and attack camera really quickly. I thought they also did a great job just how they positioned m0NESY's AWP throughout the course of the round. And he was taking picks in Canal, he was taking picks in E-Box, he was taking picks, you know, in middle. They were really kind of just setting him up for trades and countering any type of aggression that Complexity were trying to throw out there. So it was just, as Maui indicated, a much more well-rounded G2, which I think what makes them so frustrating for us sometimes is that we know they're capable of playing well-rounded CS. It's just some games they don't, and you kind of wonder why. But this game, that wasn't the case. They played very well.
Yeah, and look, I think G2 have been in a weird spot, but, you know, coming to this tournament, all the speculation about m0NESY, we saw that, you know, m0NESY won't be doing interviews at this event or whatever, but just they have been locked in. They've you know, barely put a foot wrong in the tournament so far, and have this adjustment on a map that they gave up last time. Really, really good sign for me.
Just goes to show that there's actually something going on in that camp in terms of the adjustments, in terms of what I'm imagining Taz and Snax are conjuring up, that, you know, even though they, like, you know, we know they come up with the ridiculously simplistic game plan sometimes, but this was a pretty night and day difference in terms of how they wanted to run their T side. Even just the fact that m0NESY moved around. Like, there was a stretch of time I watched m0NESY where it was like, I think it was like something like 5 Anubis games straight where he would just go for like the same 3 picks on T side. This one, I think he probably had 5 different ones just on this map. So they moved him around and just changed it up a lot more. So it's good to see that there can just be improvement on a series that they already won last time. Like, they didn't just rest on their laurels.
Exactly. I think the other big thing was that this time around they understood what type of aggression that Complexity were going to throw at them. They didn't fall prey to, you know, pushes on the extremities or pushes in the canal. They also did a really good job. I remember last time they played, Complexity was doing like this really weird, like 2 players on mid door, like kind of bait and switch setup. And it's like when they try to do that this game, G2 were not going to allow that to really cause them any problems. Like, maybe they lose one guy in that scenario, but they would instantly trade it. So it was just like way more efficient in handling the defense that they were up against, as well as just being very well versed. And look, I will give credit where credit's due. Complexity did, you know, put together a little bit of something on their own T side. We definitely praised them throughout this tournament for being a team that can play good T sides that are aggressive and dynamic, but they were just in such a hole after the first half, and I just really couldn't get it going.
Anubis defenses are like, you want to be the most off meta possible. I feel like when I watched Complexity play the first time versus G2 at this event, I almost was like, am I watching a Chinese team? You know, like, that's how off meta it felt. It felt like I was seeing something from another planet. But then this time around, yeah, if you run the same tricks, they're just going to be used to it. And everything that you do on CT side of Anubis is almost inherently a gimmick. Like, everything is just kind of like you're taking a risk, like the double door setup that Dust is talking about. Anything that you try to throw at your opponent, you're trying to just kind of like create curveballs and sliders the whole time, when in reality, like, none of these are substantial. And if you ran it 100 times, it'd still probably fail under 50.
We can talk a little bit about Hunter as well. I think, you know, he had a good showing. Saved a lot, Maui, which I know you're a big fan of. You can see here the numbers.
Okay, bringing up the joke from the pregame segment where Hunter has just been saving a lot more. He did obviously play really well in this one. The trading was very good. Like, that's something that Hunter has always been good at. Positioning off of an opponent after, or off of a teammate after they make initial contact. Like, he is probably, that's really been his bread and butter. That's why he's been such a good co-star to Nico in the past who can take point.
I think for me, it's like, when I'm thinking about Hunter, I'm thinking, like, realistically, he's supposed to be the 4th best player on the team, right? When you have m0NESY, when you have Mouse, when you have Heavy God, that's probably just where he slots. We also have to take into account that with Nico gone, that mid-round voice they used to have is now mostly Hunter's. Like, it's been very well publicized that he's been calling their pistol rounds for ages. He now calls their CT side for the most part, like Nico used to do. And so he's taking on all these added responsibilities. He also is probably very aware of the environment that he's in. You know, pieces are kind of going in and out. Like, I'm sure he's aware of the situation, and yet he's still finding ways to be valuable. And I really do truly think it's only a matter of time before he's the IGL of this team.
Yeah, you read my mind there. I was going to say, I mean, first of all, I never bought the idea that Hunter, I mean, look, we obviously remember him when he was kind of almost like a secondary star in previous lineups on G2. We remember his output and how tremendous he could be individually. But, you know, time makes fools of us all. You get older, you know, and you have to adjust your game. I was never one for thinking Hunter was ever meant to be anything better than 4th on this roster. And I think in the future, I agree. I think he just moves to IGL. I think Snax will transition out of his team eventually in time. And we'll end up seeing a Hunter IGL-led project with a new lineup. Maybe that'll happen after the major, depending on how they do.
See, this is why we need someone like Yanko on the desk, honestly, just because we're all kind of this opinion, which seems to be right now a hot take, that Hunter should just become the IGL. And it's like, in a position where many people would want to be celebrating G2's win, we're already kind of thinking about, like, the next step, which almost feels a little bit rude. But in reality, like, I mean, if he's already doing the pistol round on T-sides, all of CT side, he's already a respected figure on the team. He already
I'm right there with you,
can play some of these active roles that a lot of IGLs like, you know, Shuhei in the past and Apex plays now in terms of CT positions. It's like, it seems all right there for the taking. It's just like, when are G2 going to make that next step in terms of GMing?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the next thing to address is figuring out the permanent op situation for this team, but you would imagine that that's the next step. Because look, here's the reason why we're talking about this. Is because G2 is a team that's right now, like, in my opinion, just outside of the top 5 right now. They're probably like 6th, 7th, probably in the world. It's probably a reasonable take to have right now, although with what happened to Aurora in this tournament and what G2's doing now, maybe there's a little bit of a chance to slide past them or something like that in a power ranking, but this team, with the talent they have, should be contenders for titles, not just outside the top 5 team, you know what I mean? So I think that's
maybe
why
not anymore.
That's why we're
maybe without m0NESY, then not. I don't think that's real.
That's why we're being critical, though, is we know what is possible.
Well, yeah, I agree. I think you're right. They've got hurdles to clear. I mean, we are talking about them almost as if they lost that map, but you know,
they played well.
They're now favorites to take the series and make the final of this event. And with that, we'll turn our attentions to Dust 2. Obviously, we've explained before, this is an exact rematch. We're playing all the maps we played when G2 played Complexity last time. So, how do you see this one going now?
Well, the last time these two teams faced off against each other, it was a battle of just 2 halves, 2 T-sides practically. Both teams getting 10 rounds on their own attacks, was it? And both of them just, in a way, like, it kind of said more to me about G2 and how they wanted to finish the game, where it felt like, and I've seen this before with other G2 games, they just kind of end up sitting on their hands for a little too long, and they just kind of think something's going to come to them that's favorable, and it just lets the opposing team dictate too much. If G2 want to take this game, they will. And what they're going to do is just be a little bit more aggressive. People like m0NESY are just going to be a little bit more forward-facing. People like Mobs are going to fight off of Catwalk a little bit stronger than he did in the past, and they're not going to just let themselves get hit by a Complexity team who is actually, once they get in position, pretty efficient with their nade executes. So if Complexity is just disrupted in the slightest, I feel like that's going to be the thread that's pulled, and then G2 will probably wrap this one up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of boils down to a couple different things. For Complexity to win this game, you know, obviously what they've been strong at on when they have played Dust 2 well, and they've beaten some pretty good teams on Dust 2 at this tournament, and had an overtime against G2, and again, big T side, so they're capable of it. It's just they have really good fundamentals, and they just bring good pace, and they're very diverse. Like, that's the big thing about Dust 2. No one's reinventing the wheel, but it's about making sure that you're not pitching-holing yourself, you know, that you're exploring the entire map and just making sure that you're kind of keeping your opponent guessing with whether you're mid-being or cat splitting or whatever the case may be. I think it is going to be about individuals, though. Like, some of these guys did struggle last game, like they ran out of gas compared to the rest of the tournament. They're going to need to step up individually. I mean, I know it's kind of, you know, simple, but it is just the truth. Like, on a DM map kind of like Dust 2, this is just the case. And then, look, if G2 want to close, just do what you've been doing well, right? They're a very explosive, deathbally team. They like to put Heavy God more in the pocket on this map as opposed to just being an extremity player, let him trade with Malbs. And then they have really good fakes. And so, again, we talk about G2 having two faces. It is sometimes they play a simplified game plan where they're very, you know, one track. And then sometimes they play a very diverse game. They are capable of playing a very diverse Dust 2. Just do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair enough. I'll quickly ask about complexity as well and their chances. Like, what would their key to victory look like, Maui?
Well, they have to have a much better CT side than last time, and well, they're starting on the T side as far as I know right now in this one. And I think if they switch to the CT side, they have 5 rounds. I would just say keep playing as aggressively as you have been, because they too also kind of got caught here and there by G2 last time around. I just want to see them swing for the fences, okay? Like, don't go out with a whimper here. If you've been playing a style that has gotten you to the semifinals, a huge tournament, there's more prize money here in front of JT than he's ever won. Like, he already is at a point where even if he loses that 3rd place decider tomorrow, it's still with the club reward, with the prize money for individuals. Like, he's never even gotten this much. Just keep that style of calling that's made us so excited for complexity, and give the people something to be proud of, even if you do lose this one.
I just think the Anchors have to perform on this map defensively. I think we're going to get a decent T side, at least out of complexity, but the Anchor's going to have to perform. That's going to be Grim, and that's going to be Nikix, because, again, this is a map where G2 are very oppressive. You know, their mid-Bs are very strong, and it's all about reading the round and understanding, like, where the attack is coming from. And unfortunately, if you get the wrong read, then
there we go.
And right now, we did see, again, these individuals not shine the same that we've seen throughout the rest of this tournament. So I agree with Maui. Keep playing the way you've been playing. Like, still keep that same energy, because it's been working for you so well. But we're just going to have to see some really good reads and some individuals step up and perform well in this game to keep it going.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. We're going to go to a quick break before we get into the action. Complexity are up against it. Would be an incredible story if they could come back and make it to the final, but G2 might have something to say about that. We'll see you soon.
She said she loves you. But she can't love me.
But I love you.
Prepare for breakout.
We are all coming back.
Yes, sir.
Bring girl, make it.
Well. Wow, there's a commercial going on. Ooh, a new Sparkles video.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to a very special video where we are going to farm the Train 2025 collection. We'll be redeeming the collection until we get the Warp Long Dog, or we run out of stars. And let's be honest, we're probably going to run out of stars before we get the Long Dog. I am unfortunately joined by my unlucky cat right now. That's not a good sign, but maybe today is the day that we break the curse. Let's start redeeming some of these bad boys. After we've redeemed all of these, we should have about 153 weapons from the Train 2025 collection. If I'm not mistaken, these odds are the same as the souvenir odds, which means it's what, a 1 in 4,000, I think, to get the Warp Long Dog. So probability wise, it's not looking fantastic, and it may just be a big old waste of money. But luckily, I have a sponsor that's going to cover it. Introducing CS Money. Have you got some old skins that you want to cash out and turn into real life money? I haven't seen too many Warp Long Dogs even in the game at the moment. On CS Flow, there are 119, which is not many whatsoever, and there's only 2 factory new ones, which seems like it's practically impossible to get a factory new. So at the moment, this AWP is looking incredibly rare, but let's farm it. Our first mil spec, the FAMAS 2A2F, looks in pretty nice condition as well. back to back. Oh, then the green line is raining down mil specs on us. Oh, then the late night transit, the run. According to this guide right here, it's a 0.13% for a covert. That is pretty terrible odds. So maybe this collection does. Ooh, Tech9 Whiteout. Probably a field tested though. Maybe this collection does have better odds than the souvenir package, that being a 1 in 4,000. At least, I'm hoping so. I'm still failing to see that orb long dog. That's all we're really hunting. And if we are to hit it, you already know, 2A2F, that we want it in factory new. I can't believe.
Alright. Let's see. About a minute left.
Only 2 of those exist so far. We are about halfway through our stars so far, and we have 1 restricted and a whole bunch of mil-specs to show for it. There's another mil-spec, but we need those classifieds at least, and then maybe we can do a trade-up contract with those. Okay, we'll take more restricted. The Zeus charged up. Best thing we got so far, it's that restricted Zeus, followed up by the Tech9 Whiteout. No classifieds, no coverts. Oh, another Zeus, look at that. Relatively happy with the amount of, another mil-spec, with the amount of restricteds we're getting so far. Ooh, another Zeus, this one. Is that battle scarred or is that well worn? I think it's battle scarred. Ooh, the Mach 10 Derailment. First time we got that and it actually looks so good. Oh, Tech9 Whiteout, not in factory new though. Final one. That ain't no orb long dog. This is what 600 stars got us. A good amount.
Three years ago, when m0NESY first slid on that G2 jersey, he went up against Complexity as his first ever Tier 1 team. And in his last tournament, wearing that G2 jersey, he plays against him in the semifinals, Jason. He's right now, he's doing enough hard work to make sure that it's not the final game, though.
I was going to say, you know, there's a chance if you know, the Complexity comes back and win this game, he's just eliminated, and it's Complexity who kind of deal him that, and that'd be an interesting little piece of symmetry across his career. It doesn't look like it, though, does it? Doesn't feel like it, especially the way m0NESY played, and now an AWPer on Dust 2.
Well, Snax waiting at the back of the platform. Hunter at car. It's a strong setup. Hunter makes it better, though, with a double, and m0NESY comes in alongside Snax. It is a quick close to that pistol round. G2 come in with attitude.
Man, if you wreck a B-rush on a pistol round like that, like no issues. Now, Hunter gets a little bit lucky with his double kill over towards car, getting blinded while doing it, but man, that's a bad sign. It's a bad vibe when a B-rush gets stopped like that.
Yeah, that was fucked. That was fast as shit.
Blinded for the second kill, but you could see the rotation in from m0NESY just, man, that round was going to go nowhere. Now, the first time they played this map in the group stage, CT sides had a really bad time. Both halves were 10-2 in favor of the offenses. But the only reason Complexity was able to make a comeback in the second half is because Grim was a monster single-handedly. 26 kills in the map for him, I believe, to match m0NESY's 27. But he was the only one. Halzerk won a 1v3, 6 got an ace in a 2v5, but outside of those rounds, really, there wasn't a whole lot of production from the Complexity members outside of Grim. And from what we saw in Anubis, even that one-man army isn't going to be showing up today. And you could no longer have the luxury of a potential pistol round. So mid to B split is going to be the attempt here. You have JT on Catwalk, Lurk Smoke up towards B. And still players on the T side starting to mess with these mid double doors. Cross smokes coming in. This is all the utility Complexity has, so they have to use them. And that block well, it gives you a path.
It does. It gives you a nice little path you can work with, but they're going to move through the smokes. Hunter at the window, overcommitted, and that is not exactly the result he was hoping for. And then Mulb runs out of bullets. Snax has to step up and fight on two fronts, and oh my god, he's fumbling it, but 60's come around with a Tech9. So sure, Complexity may have not won the pistol round, but they have fought their way through into a position to win this second round for us.
Yeah, weirdly enough, but I mean, there's still a chance for G2. Now, Heavy God and m0NESY are going to come in, wrapping around through the B halls. They do not have a kit, so this has got to be fast if they want to go for it. They do have low HP players, but they need Halzerk. Oh, they got the Gush, and he's got another tag, and I think they're going to call the save. I think that's too much damage for you to go for this retake, so Complexity might have just done it. And indeed they have a second round break. That's been an issue for G2 throughout this tournament. They've only converted 50% of their CT second rounds after winning the pistol. It comes back to haunt them here in the semifinals as Complexity return the favor. even shot Grim a little bit. What is that?
I was like, what the hell has just happened? I was looking around the room, Jason.
Who's the Banshee?
Tied scoreline now, though. In terms of avoiding the disaster of going down and allowing G2 to win the pistol so convincingly, letting them build up another strong start after already winning the first map in a pretty one-sided fashion. You know, Complexity, this is the opportunity. They can't let it go. And there's still a risk to losing this kind of round. You know, Heavy God has a rifle to play with. m0NESY on the Scout is always deadly.
Well, I think one thing that's going to be a challenge for Complexity throughout this half is going to be keeping the op out of m0NESY's hands. There's going to be some of those critical moments throughout this half where, like, every round, no matter how far out of reach it seems for Complexity to win it, kills are going to matter the whole time because you want that cash being spent on anything but m0NESY's op. Grim out long in a lurk position, applying pressure. Very common for teams on these kinds of anti-low buy rounds on the T side with AK-47s to attack out towards long. So they've got G2 sucked onto that side of the map while they hit B. Hunter's only able to get the one. Good reaction from Halzerk.
Into the side, Snacks coming through window. Here's a pretty awkward fight as Grim's gonna go down in the middle. That's an AK-47 now available to the hands of Malbs.
They should go for this.
60 tunnels fight.
And he's committed. He can't fall back.
He has to win this, and he goes into a fight against two players. Eventually overwhelmed with 0 output. Complexity are down to 2. Halzerk fights out the window. Now all the remaining players in GT are coming through the tunnels, and JT is going to line them up, knock him down, and Halzerk will close.
Big boy round from JT and Halzerk. Especially Halzerk with that triple, but clearing Snacks outside the bomb site. Teammate over at Car, JT, didn't have position to make the push outside the site, so Halzerk had to do it all on his own. Alleviates that pressure so the two of them can focus up on Halls and Complexity get away with it. Now just USPs for G2. Money a problem. m0NESY has saved enough for the op in the next round, so no big deal there. And G2 want to get it over with. Mid push.
2 in from JT. Grim's up next, and in terms of having quick rounds, that's certainly up there. So 3-1. Complexity get rid of that round quickly, and we move into the buy again for G2.
Okay, but now we have the first glimpse of m0NESY's op on CT side, Dust2, where he's going to take that, how mobile and how damaging he can be, because on Anubis, he destroyed them.
Yeah.
Picked Complexity apart with every step they wanted to take, every move they tried to open up around with. m0NESY was there to greet them.
And remember that stylish finish from m0NESY on Dust2 against Complexity just a few days ago. We know on the CT side, he was a devastating force for Complexity to have to deal with. So we'll keep eyes on that straight away. Halzerk's getting into middle. Grim to fight long. Smoke with the corners up so he can move out to the blue bin. He's gonna be burned out, forced into the open. Important that JT's flash was effective. Allows that kill on Malbs, and Grim not slowing down. Spamming through the smoke, was close to it, but Heavy got protected by m0NESY. But look at Sixy in the meantime. All this fight's been going on. He's moved through the middle doors.
Yeah, they might want to try and take advantage of this quick. Good shot from m0NESY, moving in. Halzerk kicks taken down at Sixy and JT. They're out middle, but they don't really feel like they have room to work with. And Sixy's brought low, so they're going to reconvene.
Yeah, got to retreat, reposition up towards short. They've got 2 mollies to play with that can heat up m0NESY's position.
They're actually choosing to concede this A bomb site, give up the plant if need be. They're pretty convinced middle was going to be the final play. And now utility coming into the bomb site from Catwalk. That's JT. Molly in, and Molly down on the CT ramp, preventing rotation. So G2 have to get together and work together to take middle. You know the position of one player, so you realize no matter where you choose to go, there can only be one Complexity player watching for it. But now you have a retake at this A bomb site. Smoke is up in the choke point. And Sixy's probably going to need to stay close by.
my
Gap in that
God.
smoke leads to his death, and now JT, his position's known.
Well, gotta go big. And JT, flashes are coming up, applying pressure, forcing him into the open, into awkward fights. He does everything he possibly could there. Nearly gets a triple kill, but eventually they're able to down JT.
Bro, Hunter's at 2 HP.
Dude, that was so
He
close.
almost lined up a triple spray down that would have put m0NESY in a real crappy situation. G2 get a second round on the board. m0NESY still has his op. Weapons can be dropped over to teammates. And as soon as you get that op out, 2 kills. This one to secure long. This one to make sure Catwalk and Halzerk's aggressive lurk not going to be an issue during the mid to B split.
Smoked it long for him. And in the fight, Malb's taking a bit of damage off the corner.
Oh, look at Sixy. He's already out middle.
He's loving this move at the moment. He's loving taking this space so early into the round. And no one from G2 has their gaze on it, apart from Snax, who's now just peeking intermittently towards him.
Complexity's actually got this real estate on the map a couple of times. I think that's why Sixy's being so aggressive in this round. He's like, every time we've kind of walked out middle, we've been able to get this sort of standing. So why not go for it again, this time early? Halzerk's going to take a peek with the op. Once a chance.
Cool, m0NESY's going to go and fight it. Because of the early position that Sixy was able to grab, he could post the op up and punish m0NESY's peak, which leaves that B-bomb site extremely weak. It's only Snax in this position, and they're drifting towards A, though.
Yeah, they think there's going to be a rotation down to CT spawn. Maybe someone who wants to help Snax out. That's not the case at the moment. Malbs, with the timing on that smoke, is going to back off, so he's no longer committed. Complexity running into a full-blown A defense. They think they've called them out of position, but it's not the case.
Well, the G2's decision to stand their ground on this A site might just prove to be their equalizing third round. Good execute for Complexity. Utility put in place. The kill from Halzerk added to the tally. Hunter not able to step up. And this round is all Halzerk in terms of the kill output. 3 picks, 1 towards m0NESY, and the final 2 of the A site.
Yeah, Malbs actually sacrificed his position to get that smoke on towards Snax and Goose, and he was not ready for the follow-up fight. After saving his teammate's life and strayed too far out into the open, 3 kills for Halzerk with the op. The pick into the B-bomb site early, and then a double kill to clear out the A site. So Snax and Heavy God have to save the weapons. And Complexity's at 4. CT side still having issues, much like the group stage game.
Snax doing his best to hold on to the AWP. Gets that peek into the tunnels now. Oh my god, that must have been ridiculous. He just appeared on his screen and the one tap comes in.
Damn.
That's a massive find at the end too. You prevent that AWP going into m0NESY's hands again.
It's a good confidence kill as well. You feel good about that one if you're Sixy, so watch for those aggressive plays. Might be trying to make more of them, get himself stuck into a fight. He's the one who gained the space to allow Halzerk to follow up and get that pick.
Yeah, and he's going to be taking space at mid on both halves, right? We've seen it on Dust 2 so many times already. He loves to get up to those top mid flanks.
A good mid push on the CT side.
Wasn't always able to make the most of it in the earlier series, but was getting those opportunities.
But what's crazy is we saw it against Furia. He pushed mid like 5 or 6 times and a half, which is like just insane. It's like surely eventually like you're just going to get caught. Eventually they're going to say this psychopath is pushing middle.
He's got the bomb on his back. Don't go through the mid. But don't. No, he's doing it with the bomb.
Live by the psycho, die by the psycho. This round you're going to live.
Well, he's comfortable. He's confident. And he's now moving up towards the B-bomb site with his C4 still intact.
Yeah, and now it's got to be m0NESY and Malbs just playing bodyguard for this M4. Keep that resource alive. You don't need to go for a weapon. You're buying in the next round regardless. Gonna try and find some space over in middle.
Oh, all 3 players spotted it short. And they'll be happy to try and collect that extra weapon. m0NESY gets his hands on it. And now the mission for G2 is to bodyguard these 2 rifles and see if he can get them into the next.
Sup?
Should be no problems with that. No hunt from Complexity being started
Sup,
yet.
Bro? Classic knife, urban.
Strong start into Dust 2 from Complexity.
Urban mask,
really
minimal wear.
Damn.
There's a world in which
Air on this
Monty
shit
get blanked
is
after the
tight.
opening map, but they've come
I'm
in
about
with
to
some
sell.
fight, some attitude, and
About to sell
staying
my gloves
Really? For what?
question around complexity.
for money.
Mental fortitude, their mental strength when it
Like
comes
real
to
money? Like
Mhm.
cash?
games, when it comes to
Yeah.
comebacks, chokes. You know, it's always been there for complexity.
That'll be
some of the
nice.
inexperiences,
Oh
but
god.
so far, so
Daddy
good in
needs
this
some
tournament.
fucking
I mean,
money.
yeah, it was,
I
it
got
was a
bills to pay and
conversation piece
shit.
for the team for sure, considering the inexperience
Ah,
pieces
rest in
they
peace to
brought in,
Vice
and
Gloves.
obviously the playing at
It's
the
alright.
Tier 2
I'll get 'em
level,
back at some
Tier 1
point.
level, but they've shown us enough
How much are they?
throughout this event. It's G2
I
especially.
think I
Remember,
can
Dust
sell
2 was a
them
10-2 start
for like
G2. They brought
600.
that all the way back. End up losing 13-10.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Showed some
Trade
resilience there
value,
for
they're worth
sure.
like
See if
900.
they've got it in
But
the semifinals.
Invest them.
Three-round
Put it on
lead,
stocks
they've
right now
won
next
4
time
of
it
the last
dips.
5.
And then just like,
nah, I need like money like right now to like
Oh, yeah,
pay
that's right.
bills.
So, my
So
bad, apologies.
yeah. Happens.
The other match were 13.
true.
Yep, both other maps 13-10.
But I'm going back to work Monday, so that'll be good.
G2's time to do a little
Yeah.
hard work and
But
get
you still
back
gotta
into
wait,
the
what,
map.
like 2 weeks, I bet?
Like a
Mossy
week.
with the sniper. And everybody else on the rifle. Let's save that
Oh, you get
take
paid
over,
weekly?
So Malb's
Yeah.
be able to play with that.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, I don't
Pick
think I could
available
work
here
a
for
job where I
Halsey.
get
He's got a
paid
good
like
spot.
every 2
He's
weeks
gonna
again.
charge.
And they're playing
After
well
getting
this
paid
round.
every week for like so long.
Ever? Yeah, no, it's nice.
Mm,
I went
Flash,
from getting
Holzer
paid
can't make
weekly to
most of
getting
it.
paid
But
bi-weekly,
Grim
but
certainly
making
will
more
offer
money.
himself up. He
Damn.
goes around on that peak.
So
My dumb ass would
it's-
blow through all the money like
Space out long
the first
and
week.
the opening kill in their favor.
I guess that, yeah, that's one of the
Mossie's
things
gonna
is
stick
always
around.
having
Connor
money.
Malz
It's a
was
little
thinking
harder to
falling
save
back.
money
I
on a
think Mossy
week to
called
week
him
basis.
over to
True.
reaggress.
Oh, Malbs goes for the SWAT.
How's their
Straight needs to
shot?
go through. I've been trying for the last hour and 30 minutes to get this shit.
I'm streaming, watching Pro CS. This dude is cool.
Malbs had it closed.
He needed
Who?
that because look at
What?
Modesty.
This dude on
Modesty was never
Complexity.
gonna react to a catwalk play.
Oh.
And now he can
Dude
trust
just
him all.
whiffed
Holds
the
down short,
worst
he's gone.
shot I've
And so
ever
Modesty
seen
can
with an
no
op.
longer commit to that
And
long
like,
fight as comfortably
you're a
as he
pro
once
player.
was. Grim is still going
How are you
forward, trying
whiffing
to take this
with
space
the
for
easiest
Complexity.
weapon in the
A
game?
minute left.
Well,
Hunter
it
swings.
wasn't even like a crazy
Still
shot.
alive.
Like bro was like
Still
10
alive.
feet in front of
As
him,
Holzer
not
moves
moving,
forward to the 50-second mark in the round.
and bro still missed.
Modesty
Whiff.
going for a last-ditch effort.
Modesty
no
would
scope
have
for
never
smoke, but
missed
it's a
that.
reset point and allowing Snacks to come out long.
Modesty's
timing. It's a
frying
really nice
them right
timing.
now.
He knows Holzerk is alive though.
No one's
Well,
looking until
not
Holzer
yet.
now starts to realize that that long play could
He
come
fried
through.
them last game.
Gauges the info. He goes for the swing, taking the fight against Snacks. Monacy taking shots, but his teammate's down, so it requires
Come
a
on,
clutch
bruh.
that 60 will not allow to start.
Okay. Now we got the fragging back for Complexity. We didn't have it for most of Anubis, but now those kills are flowing. 60 at 8, Holzerk at 9. His AWP is doing work. And Complexity running up this scoreboard 6-2. A very nice take, especially after Malbs just steals a kill for no reason. With that defense, as much as the shots from Malbs are nice, that's a big risk.
Yeah, bro.
That committed
You want to know
all
what I
exposed
gave
to
up in this
catwalk,
trade?
not actually
I gave up
having
a fuck
catwalk
ton of
control. You
shit.
could see Malbs and Hunter
I
desperately
guess.
trying
I mean, if you want, yeah.
aggression with
I bet you
utility,
gave up the chrome
with presence
cannon.
on the peaks.
Yeah.
The neon rider.
They had to overextend
Nah,
to
kept
save
that.
Monacy, and
Yeah,
now
you
all of a
had to
sudden
keep that,
Complexity have
Loki.
control
That
of
one's
this map.
legendary as fuck. I kept a decent amount of play skins.
Damn, what else?
I got rid of the Hyper Beast, Neon Revolution,
Yeah, forgot about the Hyper
Dragonfire, Tech 9 Decimator, M4A1S Decimator, some Rust skins, and some like other like couple buck skins.
Damn.
And that shit was enough to get me a knife.
Let's go.
Taking down Monacy's Deagle chiming in.
Dude, G2's doing
Hold
such a
up.
good job on their low buy rounds of actually
Yeah,
picking
hold
up
up.
weapons and
It
salvaging
ain't
them.
like
Comes into the fight, 60
Ruby
pushes in towards
or
him.
nothing,
There's another kill.
but
60 going aggressive right into Monacy.
I mean,
That's
it's a
gonna allow
really
him
clean fucking knife.
to stay
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah, he's gonna pass
Like,
the off
super
over Hunter,
clean.
'cause
You see
Hunter's
this
just gonna
shit?
back off if there's any issues
Like
on this
it just
retake.
looks like an
There's no
all white
kids.
blade in game.
They gotta go so quick. Monacy's
Yeah.
up first, spots them all. Grim not able to
And
get a
it's
kill.
because of the
It's
float.
Nyx to step up. Second kill's good. Hunter low on HP. Time is the problem, and
I
Nyx
like
will
never
handle
see
forward.
anybody with classic knives either.
His first 4 kills.
That's
in
what I'm
the
saying.
Nyx.
Pull out
Very
animation
good
is
hold.
fucking tight.
A desperate retake, but G2 was kind of forced into
Same
it by the
with
success they had
the
at taking some weapons away, finding 2 kills in middle, and all of a sudden
like.
that retake felt
There's a
very
running
doable.
animation for it almost. Or
Yeah.
there
Again
is.
in the hands of Monacy, but G2 have had plenty of chances to slow down this Complexity offense and haven't been able
Who's
to do
showing?
it. He's had the op a number of times. They've had
I'm like
strong
less
bombs a number
sad
of
about.
times. Just cannot get
Well,
a grip
I don't
on
know.
Complexity at the moment.
I was pretty sad about selling my Fire Serpent, but I feel like I'm less sad about selling my Vice Glove.
Stop the long play. Complexity have gotten 2 big pieces of real estate
not
relatively
yet.
easily throughout this half.
Luke, tap in with
Grim
the
has been
stream.
able
I
to
just
get out
caught
a
the
number of
knife.
times.
Yep.
And then obviously mid outside those double
I caught the
doors,
knife.
that's standing to execute the mid to B split. We found them in those positions plenty of times as well.
Hot.
Messioso with
I'm
nothing
burning.
to say.
Put a blanket on. Put another blanket
It's
on.
going so well for Complexity.
Double up setup. I'm assuming
Christian,
one
you
is
hopping
gonna
on?
drop and one
You
has
have
the
Premier
spawn
Run, bro.
for long. So we'll
Nah,
see
bro, I'm
Grim
watching
get a pick
G2.
on the mid cross, smoke plumes.
Alright. Me and Luke
Blind
got
shot
Premier
misses
points
the
to
mark.
game.
Halzerk out
I gotta
towards the
stream
long.
G2
A little
right
bit
now.
Hey,
off.
turn it
It's
off.
Monacy, the third op in the map that finds an opening kill.
Yeah, this one towards 60. Monacy's
I'm
gonna
about to
get
witness
back up.
I'm about to
domestic
go
violence
Or
on
at
stream.
least
Hold
his
on.
vision to short Halzerk. Oh, flash. Blinds him, he drops off, and as he does so, Monacy connects a shot. Not to lethality, though. He has a chance on Nyx. Second
Way
kill
on
of the round, and
downtown,
it's Monacy again.
London
Complexity
town.
4-3. Halzerk trying to stick around and punish
Fuck.
Monacy. But it's on JT to create some space, to make
What?
an opening here for Complexity to move through. Hunter at Goose,
I don't know.
now to the site.
That was weird
JT's
what
got
just
the
happened.
important kill, but it's the first of many required. Mob's just here in the steps.
And we've already seen Complexity win a round like this,
You
where,
would have
where
pissed
they
or
have the
something.
A bomb site and they have G2 trapped in CT spawn, unable to really get any kind of a retake. So Grim will get that bomb planted.
Fuck,
Nate is going to come in
back
and
too.
maybe do
It's
a
the
little bit
high
of chip.
HP player at least planning the bomb. So it's just going to take a little bit off the top of Grim.
So Complexity know they haven't taken out the long defender.
One kit on the back of Snacks. If he dies at short, it's going to be difficult to get this kit back.
Going to be impossible to get the kit back.
So he has to win this. if
Oh
they wanna
my
move swiftly.
god.
Again,
Dude,
Halzerk
what?
surviving damage, and G2 starting to move in. Heavygod's got that headshot.
Yeah,
Grim
fucking
coming back forward. Grim now down,
Halzerk's
but
one
remember,
shot.
Halzerk's still here to try and win it all, and that's the kick gone. If he can delay this, if he can run it down, but Monacy's on the plan, or rather the defuse, he's sticking it, and Mons
Got
has him
him.
covered. Monacy holds it. And
Oh,
finally,
shit.
a retake, and it's real close on
Oh.
time, but it goes the way
That was
of
close
G2.
as fuck.
Yeah, Monacy making himself a small target, making sure
That
that
was
Halzerk
cool
has
as
to
a
swing
fucking
as wide
cucumber.
as humanly possible to get that shot clean on the diffuser. Easy mop up from Mobs, but really it's Heavygod coming from long that provides the kill that gets the whole
I'm back.
retake going. They needed him to get this frag.
Looks like he's be
Massive
right
one
back
onto
too.
JT,
Naked.
Alright.
and a pretty simple finish on a
My
low
bad.
HP Halzerk. 7 to
How many
3.
people you got watching?
G2 right at the end of this half.
2.
Could bring this back and make it a
Don't
strong
matter.
CT side at 5 to 7.
Fuck.
Quick tunnel fight
What'd you
going
say?
down here. Hunter ready.
Nothing.
He's pushed all the way in. 60
Something-
running right
something
into the open.
inappropriate.
Hunter's got one. Monacy
You're
to come in
two.
in the second. Hunter then starts to look
Not
towards
old
top
enough
mid,
yet?
but Nyx is up next.
2 viewers
No.
is what I
Hunter
said.
committed to the corner. Nyx
What do you say?
will use the distraction of the top
My
mid
God.
players to
Nigga.
allow himself that pick on
You're
Hunter. but
blind.
You're
Snacks
both
threw
fucking
into
talking
tunnels,
at the same
realizing
fucking
how
time.
much
I'm
presence
blind
was
because I
in
can't
mid.
hear.
There's very
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
enemy and empty tunnels.
Yeah, 2 tunnels and lower tunnels usually means
You
that
know what I
upper
meant.
push is going to be available to you, especially when a third player makes his presence known.
Fall back now and play from the site instead.
Extended 3 versus 3 after the early action. Mid control for Halzerk and Nyx. Grim backing off from long just now. He's been waiting for a push.
Cannot believe that dude Monacy's leaving G2.
Nyx has
Actually, I
full
can't
utility,
believe
smoke,
it.
Molotov flash.
What?
You ever spanked the hog in Afghanistan or wherever the fuck you were deployed?
Only
All the
Snacks
time.
defending for the moment with an empty
I
9.
said Afghanistan.
So weak.
Yeah, I bet that shit was crazy.
And there's no one close.
Reinforcements are very
She was
far
sandy.
Not
No
good.
kids on well, the Heavygod has one at least, so
Like
but
warm
this
hot.
is not looking like Snacks is gonna be able
Oh,
to
I
do
bet
a
that
whole
shit's
lot.
like worse than
You're like
humidity.
sweating. You're like,
Pure
ugh.
Yeah, fighting against the odds.
Dripping sweat, sliding around.
Snacks with the
bullets.
MP9.
You're just
waits
like
behind the
fucking
site,
dying, but
running
you
him down. Snacks has
gotta
got the
just
first
prank
Going
the
back?
dog.
playing his life, but extends
get
a little bit
one
too
fucking-
far back. Killer kill
Gotta get
though.
one cooking.
Heavygod's caught it.
You gotta get a load busted out.
He's got a molly, he's got a
Fucking make
flashbang
the
as well.
rules.
He'll use that straight
We're gonna be on
away.
3 maps
Over
or
to
just
the tunnels,
2?
goes
What the fuck are
aggressive,
you guys
takes the
doing?
aggressive move.
Ban Nuke.
Oh, oh, fuck you. I'm playing 2.
Inferno. I don't want to play Inferno. Please, please, please.
Fuck you.
Inferno's goated.
Inferno
Bro.
and Nuke. Best maps. Yeah, see, we have
You
fucking
guys-
50-50 odds right here playing Inferno or Nuke.
Yeah, you guys are fucking chodes. Christian, you never even liked Inferno, you Nick.
Alright.
I forgot. I didn't even say it. That's cool.
I like Inferno now because I'm good at it.
I didn't like Inferno because way back when the fucking I always lagged on the
Yeah, when CS2 first came, that's like the main reason I didn't like playing it. It would like bug out every fucking time I played that map.
Any other time, like
It
any
still
other map, I mean.
sometimes it still does. Like if there's like a bunch of smokes,
Yeah.
it'll still like lag.
I'm turning into fucking Tony, by the way. I'm fucking trying to be a P90 god.
P90's cracked. Use the MP9. Shit's way better.
P90's fucking good. Use the fucking MP9 though.
That's the most OJ shit I've ever heard.
Wait, what? No, the P90's good, but I think I was saying the MP9's better.
Is fucking goated.
MP9 is goated.
I like the P90.
I suck with the P90. I'm way better at the MP9.
I'm getting pretty good with it. I'm turning into Tony.
I'm also pretty good with the Mac 10.
Mac 10's pretty fucking easy to get good with.
Mac 10's busted.
For real.
After like the third shot, the spray pad.
Nah, you want to know what the most broken guns in the game are? Let me tell you, the fucking dualies. Them dual Berettas are fucking crazy.
I'm a four blood with those.
You can just straight one-tap people with them, and there's like 40 bullets in like one magazine.
User fucking skill right there. I can't fucking do it.
What?
Ooh.
The user fucking error for me. I can't fucking do it.
Damn.
Horrible. Let's go. Purple's AFK.
Shut up, bro. I'm changing my resolution.
G2, let's go.
I'd probably change that before the fucking premiere game started.
I just got in, fucktard.
Yeah, that's a really nice retake. Really good job. That felt like a very strong position
God,
for
dude.
Complexity to be in. 3 players on catwalk.
No one gonna swing this? Good shit. No one fucking sitting in the back.
I was shooting people, motherfucker. Damn.
That dude Hunter's about to be fucked on G2 when m0NESY leaves. Complexity.
Because Carl is listening. 2-bed, 2-bath, AC.
Weren't they like supposed to be at IU and got knocked out?
What?
Weren't they supposed to be at IEM, but they got knocked out like, right at the end?
I think. I don't know if they qualified for IEM Dallas this year.
They weren't at no last year when we went. And
Oh, Complexity?
yeah.
Yeah.
Were they there?
No, they got knocked out. Like before the playoffs that we watched. And like the group
Dude,
stage.
why? We're fucking horrible.
There's a bunch of crazy teams that we didn't get to see. Like Na'Vi didn't fucking make it somehow. I don't know how the fuck that happened. Navi's like one of the best teams in the world.
G2 with m0NESY and the team is a tantalizing prospect.
Oh, let's go.
FaZe lost
Fuck
earlier
these
today,
retards.
so they're waiting in the
Buy
third place
something,
to sign up for the
asshole.
loser of this series, which
I was. You see the knife?
No.
and after the win in the group stage as well over FaZe, that
I gotta stop streaming them.
Here's Nyx. Joe Berettas into the tunnels. Mops around the corner. Great shot. And they know now the second
that
player's
wasn't
there.
the button I
Heavy is the man
wanted
to
to hit.
take Grim out.
Early warning,
Hold
getting
up,
it
I'm
back in
coming.
time. It's JT and Sixy coming
Oh my
back.
god,
and
there's one on
already
ramp.
smoked
He's
off,
already
and they've gotta
fucking holding
play
it.
behind
Drop
the
back.
wall.
Yeah, Molly to the window too. So utility being put in place is allowing a comfortable bomb plan for G2. Complexity going to try and reposition through the mid doors, but Snax is even here watching that. And timing.
Snax, come on, bro.
Looking the wrong way as that push came in, but still getting one.
Maybe trying to think about too much, as if the long flank was going to be the biggest concern in the
hut.
world there, but still in a 2v3 coming back in.
Oh, never mind, that's our buddy.
Very hard retake, and Hunter just
God
peeks
damn
out
it, Nolan.
and ends things.
I was staring right up there, bro.
6th round for G2 and extends
still
this
died.
win streak to 4 rounds going back to the
That's
first
it.
half.
Both pistols as well for G2 on this
Nice.
map. Complexity were able to get a force buy back in the previous half.
You see that?
Want to do it again here.
He's gonna
Yeah, I remember I mentioned this
he
in the
jumped
first map,
off
though.
of
G2 100%
Evan.
on
He
converting
jumped off
these T-side second rounds after winning the pistol. So we'll see if Complexity can do what nobody's been able to do before them.
Ooh.
This must be a fucking small little tournament they're playing. Because they're in the playoffs right now and they're not even playing in front of a crowd.
From G2. Scout for Holzerk. Grim and 60 on the double MP9 combo. Getting spotted as they run the corner at long. Snack seeing 2, but sees only 1 off.
Great find for Snacks early, alleviating a lot of
Guarantee
pressure.
they have an op outside.
Makes you feel much more comfortable in this round if you're G2 at this point. Hunter's clearing out lower, sees nobody. So Xbox smoke comes in, blocking.
That dude got
Halzer's
absolutely
vision.
fucked, brother.
Boom. He'll clear it. But doesn't gather much. Nyx taking a couple of risky steps forward into the tunnels.
Hunter's looking for this.
He's aware of it. It's got to be with the lack of presence holding the upper tunnels, but Nyx.
You trying to push into sight?
In fact,
I'm
he's
on
gone
site.
the
I thought I
long
had
way
on.
around.
Heaven on heaven.
No real good
Hunter
SG.
walks in B now as well.
Oh yeah, I mean they're doing a mid to B split anyway, so Nyx might have spotted.
Did you hold that while I plant?
One
They're
hut,
already in
one
the site, and
fucking
if you're
garage, one
Complexity,
heaven.
you save these
They're everywhere.
because the next round's gonna be a full save regardless.
They had
I didn't know
all
that
three
close.
angles.
It's
Give
alright.
yourself a second chance at it with the 2 MP9s with the Scout and the Deagle.
That's fucked.
7 to
Our team
7,
needs to
we're
stop
all
fucking
tied
going
up.
outside.
Why are we going outside still? Start bitching about it, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be frustrating
Really.
for
Let's
Complexity,
go
not being
ramp
able
rush.
to really build off of the lead they were getting in that first half. Number of rounds between them and G2, but that gap has been closed.
Was someone rushing that last
Yeah,
time?
nice streak at the end of that first half.
No,
was
they-
really
one of them
painful for
held the
Complexity
fucking
considering
ramp,
how
though.
dominant they were through most of it.
Use Utah.
They let it slip right at the end. So 7 to 7. But Complexity at least gonna play this round normally with.
I got
all
the
their
dude behind. He
USPs,
got
you've
rolled.
the weaponry that's saved. So yeah, second round.
Push
a little
sight,
bit
push
more, and
sight,
at the
push
end, it's
sight. Let's go.
Snax's kill in the first 15 seconds that decides things.
Just coming from our side of this one.
But Complexity have another chance at it here. Halzerk's in double digits, the only one for Complexity. He's at 11 kills. Over on the
One on
G2
ramp.
side, it's m0NESY at 12. Heavy got at 11, so is Hunter at 11.
Molly the left, right side.
I got
Hold
him.
him.
Control, I think. Oh, never mind.
Quick long take for Heavy God.
Thought I saw one.
Grenade's gonna eat half his
Ramp,
health.
ramp, ramp. Left side
It's a
ramp.
risky step forward to get a grenade blast.
What?
I don't know what's more dangerous.
Of
Eating
course he
taking
steals my
grenade
shit.
damage or stepping forward
I
like
said
that
left
out
side
long.
ramp, dude. Peek
Well, you
fucking
combine
right.
Still able to stand though.
I don't
He's
know.
gonna be waiting long while the rest of his
Oh.
teammates
Or the fucking
currently
yellow.
apply pressure up through the catwalk.
Yeah, nice and simple though. 6, he can't really do anything. No
Fucking
utility.
loser.
Mac-10 drops into spawn, so mid players are going to be harassed.
Yeah, let's all rush it.
Rotate over. Grim and
Nolan, it was
6
crazy last night. Me and Luke got a fucking team that was like actually not completely brain dead for once.
Yeah, they're actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was
good.
weird.
I've been running into people that are decent at the game recently. It's kind of nice.
He's just locking them away. They can't get
Usually
through CT
we get
spawn.
matched with like
Honestly,
complete
have a
brain
look
dead
around.
idiots.
Nyx not getting spotted.
All kills matter if you're Complexity. Bring one AK-47
Heaven,
forward
heaven,
into
heaven.
the next round, and it's worth its weight.
Well, unfortunately for Nyx,
Shitty
he's
nade.
gone, but
Hut.
Halzerk's got a double kill.
Yeah,
Just fucking
that's,
reloading.
that collateral,
He got
I
me
mean,
too, bro.
JT, if he wants to jump into
I tried.
see if he can find a weapon, you can go for it.
He's dead.
Honestly, trying to keep him preoccupied, but he could also go down here.
Oh
Halzerk,
my.
another shot on the scout, cleaving weapons out of their hands.
Why
An
did
AK picked up for JT on the way out. Can Halzerk get a better gun?
I don't think he realizes. Oh yeah, he did. He got one right at the end, right as we switched away. Halzerk's picked up an AK-47, so 2
Vulcan?
AKs recovered. And what
Oh, what
turns out
the
to be a
hell?
very nice
That guy
weapon
has a
for
fucking
Complexity.
catalyzed.
This is
Double op setup.
What
not
the
even
hell?
That a third timeout used by
On that
G2.
guy's AK, that's like a
yesterday?
$2,000 or $3,000
Very
sticker.
early in this second
bro
half
had a fucking
to burn your
stream
last
up.
time out.
Because Heavy God needs
True,
a
I
map.
bitch was Minwire
Really?
too.
You think so?
Yeah.
Heavy guy was just like, ah,
He's had enough.
That shit's nice.
He's
Yeah,
like,
this
yeah.
guy's got a fucking
seconds of shut eye.
a crown foil and then a team LDLC from 2014.
Why are they
Is it a
going
hollow?
outside, bro?
Yeah, it is a hollow.
This is Halzerk.
That's what's up.
He's low-key tough.
That's one way to do it. And
Yeah,
a wall
really
bang as well on m0NESY.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
sweet
actually
round
got
for Halsey.
outside.
Yeah, skin's probably worth a couple thousand.
Set up on Halzerk and Nyx.
Yeah, it's a Vulcan field test, I want to say.
Just the single up for G2 in the hands of m0NESY on the other side
Alright.
of things. Full buy for both
Two
teams.
Drop vents
if we can. We'll go secret.
In the bank for Complexity due to the benefit of the 2 saved AKs. m0NESY only spots
Oh,
one
fuck
cross.
me. Coming down vents.
Hunter instead, who
I
charges
lied.
out long this time. He's got himself
coming
down
down
into the pit.
Oh, orange.
Strong position to maintain early. JT just spotting his head.
They still have 3 players up on catwalk as well. Grim, Halzerk, and 60, all 3 of them hanging out there, so you've got plenty of forces nearby.
Luke, you having flashbacks?
You don't know what's happening elsewhere on the map, but at least you're in the right position for the moment. All 5 players of G2 out long. This is always going to finish at long.
I played War Thunder one time. I'd say that's pretty close to modern combat.
Yeah, it is.
Played Halo once.
Patient as we hit G2.
We could run Battlefield, but you know, if your PTSD is too strong, then we don't have to.
On your retard.
It's actually more like Fortnite.
There's actually no HE grenades on Complexity.
It's like what IRL combat is.
Unfortunately for them too.
Building and shit. Boxing kids.
But because it's the AWP.
3 tours and tilted towers.
Literally just cranking 90s IRL.
G2's charge up the ramp into the site.
Did you ever tell your squad leader you didn't have enough mats?
2 players blinded.
Yeah.
No problem for 60 to unravel 2. His
Actually
Snacks is
did
up
say
next.
something
He gets
along
a kill
those
right
lines
back.
one
It's
time
2
as
for
a
him.
joke.
Site out, commitment to the plant.
So I can't do that
3v3
on
retake,
fast.
2 ops in play, and he's
Fortnite's
now
like
just those 2 AWPs
kinda
as
cool
Monacy
still.
pulls away JT.
What do you mean, bro? Fortnite's still the coolest game.
On top of hot.
Monacy going down.
I just got gooned. I actually just got slimed out so hard.
Because it has to. It is the only remaining
Clutch this
weapon.
up.
Nix with no kid
Let's
on his
go.
back and no head on his shoulders.
Probably felt really good.
You betting on the game, Christian? Take your
No.
vice gloves and bet on it.
No, I'm good.
Just saying, screw cover.
I know better than to fucking bet on
Goes
G2.
down, Nix wins it out, but great shooting from
Betting on
Snacks
games is
in
like
this
the
round. The kill on
least
towards Grim.
enjoyable shit to bet on.
Yeah, because they could be like up like 12 to 1 and then lose.
They do great work. Even with this,
Nade it.
double kill from
He pushed
60
out.
could have been just so deadly for this attack.
Yes, he did. I heard double door open.
But a brilliant
Or single.
recovery.
He pushed out.
To lose the opening pick to Monacy.
Good nade, bro.
Remember the
Good shit.
the previous time they played.
I killed him for 100.
Six's
Yeah.
aggressive short play canceled, so he'll run back.
Oh, did you even hit him with a nade?
Before the utility follows up
Yeah.
upon his position.
Oh.
This could possibly be a G2
G2-0
G2-0.
in a row for G2 to regain the lead.
Yeah, we
It's
could get
gotta
a
be feeling
4
really
stack.
painful for Complexity, starting to get
Wanna
frustrated, and now
see-
you're starting to get picked
Oh,
off.
it's T-Bone? I didn't even
Scoreline
say
looks close,
fucking
but
join.
the momentum's
Let's
still
go,
with
Secret.
one team at the moment.
T-Bone can't play Premier
And
yet.
with that Monacy kill, G2
Really?
once again have the
Oh, yeah.
advantage. Hunter should extend upon it here. The MP9.
I'm on Arma anyway.
Come out on top, and that's exactly what happens. Hunter falls off the top of the box. Grim now moves out long.
Oh, but they're out mid. If they pick up the pace here, JT with the Deagle, SMG. Nix does great work again. Okay, G2 a little bit stalled out.
Monacy
fucking
preoccupied in
much,
middle.
bro.
JT losing
Oh my
health,
god, there's
but
no
Nix
one
not
heaven.
stopping. Grim on the MP9.
On
and Nix
Snacks.
just has a hero round. That
Dude,
little gun provides
Why
4
do they
kills.
keep going outside? It
All
never
right, Nix,
fucking
that's
works.
huge. Clearing upper
We haven't won a
tunnels of
single
Hunter
game
and then
outside.
just hanging onto the B bomb site by the skin of your
What?
teeth. MP9 does
just got
work,
pixel
and
peeked.
G2 gets stalled out. Finally, Complexity put a stop to the run. Right
What?
back to Nix and just one
Insane.
round behind.
Nice, dude.
Oh, and look at the money from G2.
I think he's a furry.
They won 4 in a row to start this half. They lost
He
1 and
fucking-
don't
he
have the
definitely
cash
should've
to
died for
reinvest
that.
in
I'm dropping
rifles.
up.
Nix.
Oh, he's got an op.
Oh,
He
you
can
could
get
go.
swarmed.
You can go from hero to 0.
Oh, he's in so much
You
trouble.
can go from hero to 0
Oh
in
my.
a second. Heavy got blasts his head off B bomb site wide open.
What a shot.
JT racing back, but he's flashed. He's held back. Utility now deployed. He'll do damage on a heavy got, but not a kill yet. And he even sustains damage through that smoke. And you've given an op to Monacy. Bomb not planted yet, but it's
Oh my god.
It does not stop. No mercy. As you give it away, Monacy repels the retake.
Just a quick peekaboo with an extra kill. Blind fire into the smoke, and you're exactly right. Giving
One
it off
pushed
over to
in
Monacy.
lobby.
I'll tell you what, though.
Push back
I
the
think
trophy.
Complexity completely misread the
Dude,
economic
stop going
situation they were in.
outside.
I think they expected a buy this round. I think
He got
Nix
lucky one time,
certainly
now he thinks he can go
expected
outside
a buy
every
this round.
fucking
There's
round.
no way.
Otherwise, he wouldn't do that.
It all pushes up for that angle against pistols. They just had the wrong call at the wrong time for the wrong buy from G2. And what a devastating round loss in the semifinals.
God, that knife is so fucking clean, bro.
At a
Butterfly
terrible
fade.
moment. Could be worse. At least Complexity's got money.
Okay.
Fuck were
What
you
the
looking
fuck?
at?
Their
What were you
first
looking
time
at?
out taken.
I'm lagging, bro.
Yeah, but you're down one.
I'm trying my best.
Semi-final.
I would fucking tell
11
people
rounds
if
like that. Go
my
against
friends
you,
saw
not
that
getting the right
fucking play
read.
too.
So, first timeout for Complexity. G2 calls so many early
Yep.
on.
You know it's GG when Complexity takes a timeout and Monacy's laughing. Dude never shows any emotion.
Might be limiting to Taz later on if this game is as close as it was in the group stage.
Yeah. So here's the heavy guard pick. Is Nyx just offers it up.
Touched his hand.
And you give the
Yeah,
Monacy, and
that's
this-
where I got my op powers from.
Dude, so stupid. Even in slow mo.
Keep dropping down.
He did see. I mean, he saw the shadow of 6.
Ever since I fucking me and Monacy collided hands, my op game has been crazy.
Good smoke.
That's
true.
5K elo.
That's true. Dude, I'm like 7K now, almost.
Done a decent job at blocking long early.
Luke, he's pushing you. He might drop down.
And G2's utility
Where?
now
He's on
flushing,
ramp.
So take the space at long.
They used five flashes
He's on me.
there to get out of long.
Nice.
Well, they made it.
Yeah, 3 on the initial salvo, 2 on the follow-up.
Monacy aggressive pick it short coming up. Sees the
You should
barrel,
just run out,
exactly
you're good.
where his target is. Monacy waits.
Let's take another step forward. That's what he's saying.
He's like,
Good shit, bro.
"Poke a little more. Show me a little more." And he goes in. Surely the swing from short will come up next.
Yeah, the nade I chucked in the
Monacy
smoke,
not really
like,
putting
blew the
himself
smoke
in a
away
position
from the
to get
dude,
that
and he was
second kill,
there.
though.
No, but this is what Monacy was doing to him on
Thought he was about to
Anubis
drop
as well,
down.
is just picking off
Oh my god.
and he pins 60
What?
on the wall.
Well, he's not ready for another player to be at short, but he's bringing 3 friends over to deal with it, and he'll watch it. Halzerk instead. Monacy's just
God.
destroying them.
Monacy about to ace.
Yeah. We gotta push secret though. Don't smoke off red tin.
Complexity can't stop it.
Don't
Heavy
smoke
guard
red
up
container.
close.
That shit does not work.
And Nick's low in HP. All of his teammates gone.
Make it
Monacy
fast.
smells him as well. He knows his prey's
No, no,
around
no.
the corner.
Someone
He's
smoke
gonna hunt
like.
him
My
down
god,
straight to the
bro.
That
chest.
smoke was a waste.
And Monacy
My God,
dominates
Blue,
Complexity
fucking go.
inside of mid.
Gives like a questioning
Monacy
shrug as well,
fucking
as why do they just
masterclass
keep walking
today?
out? Why do they just keep pushing into my crosshair? I'll take all those kills. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just sitting here waiting.
I think on site.
And
On site,
everything's
maybe?
easy.
Pushing ramp right now.
This is really the last stand then for Complexity. Lose this, job done. Out of the semis, out of the tournament, into the 3rd place decider. And
Two
we've
ramp.
got Halzerk committing into the lower tunnels. Aggression into a round like this.
I don't think he made that secret in any way. They know the position.
Uh,
The kill is still his.
Control room.
Halzerk's
Walking
got
to the
space
chair.
to fall back, and Monacy a rare
No.
miss. So Halzerk gets away and confirms the 5-on-4, the man advantage he's given Complexity's defense.
High risk, high
Oof.
reward for Halzerk at least to kick off round 20. So G2 take a pause and reassess their options. I'm gonna shift 2 players back through T-spawn. They go out long, you've got to deal with Grim. Bit of an off angle here with the AUG.
Well, they've shown they're not shy about using flashbangs to get out long in the mid-rounds.
Yep.
So those off angles should get neutralized.
In fact, he's just gonna peel away. He'll play further back on the A-bomb site instead.
Bro, you need to lock
Trusting
in.
in the smoke.
3 smokes, 3 flashes.
It's so
2
fucking windy
Molotovs for
outside.
G2
It's like
to
all
end
I
this
hear right
round.
now.
Smoke is going to clear it long just about now, and they're going to make their move. Going to be going quiet for this first step.
Vents.
And Sixy's getting proactive on the map. He's cleared lower and upper, and he's confirmed the long play from G2's 4 remaining players, so everyone's shifting from Complexity.
Smoke goes up in JT's face. He'll start to spam down through it. Some further
Coming,
damage
ramp.
onto Heavy God. Grim will finish him off with the AUG. He's pinned, but that Molotov's gonna force him into the open. Kill from
That guy got
Monacy,
fucked.
pinned, ready to go in 9 seconds.
Nice.
Plant needs to come in right now, and
Yeah, bro.
Mobs
I
hit short.
fucking
Not
bounced
enough
the
ammo.
grenade
Halzerk
off of
2v2
the ramp.
goes.
Shit
Monacy
bounced all the way
backing
up,
Hunter
and I got a
steps
pit
forward.
because he was
Oh my
chasing.
god.
Shot on the flick back from Hunter.
They won
And
that
it's a
round.
step towards grand finals for G2. And they're missing one Kovac, but he's still looking for that reunion in the final.
As good as Complexity have been in this tournament, G2 showing today, they are still levels above them.
Poop.
A 4v5 conversion to get to 12.
You guys ever pooped before?
Halzerk gave you the advantage, but you did not hold off that long hit.
I might have.
Perfect reaction. The smoke.
All right, one
is on,
trophy.
Crossover. Molotov to Grimm's position. m0NESY in position with the op. And Complexity on their last leg.
Quick charge out long, and it's worked out pretty well here for Complexity. The
Oh
first two picks are good, and
Okay.
it's shutdown.
They just sold.
Yeah, well, just as G2 didn't really expect the third player to be here, Complexity's just like, oh, all five? Okay, well, that's cool. we'll take them.
We'll take that, absolutely.
So they won't go down yet. They won't go down without a fight. One last attempt to breathe some life into a comeback. It's got to be 4 in a row for Complexity, and they've got the first, but there's so much money on G2. You have no easy rounds at the end of this for Complexity. It's going to have to be the hard way.
That's why they were willing to make such a committed play out of long, throw
What is he
everything you've got
doing?
into it, because they know that they have the fallback of all the cash they've got left over. So another really strong buy
I guess all of them
coming out.
died.
So you mentioned the amount of rounds Complexity need to win in a row. They've got to do it the hard way. You still got to go against this op in mid and m0NESY. Taking their time to get across with the grenade. Holzerk's going to be boosted to look into lower tunnels. I'm not going to take the peek yet. Grim, look at this risk. He's got into the long smoke.
Playing a cheeky fade.
Dude has 777 damage.
Halfway through the smoke, and Grim backs off.
I just noticed the fucking opper on the other team, Complexity, has a fucking m0NESY sticker on his op.
See too much action. Heavy God
Bro's
still
riding
very
his
much
meat.
aware of the potential. Good pick from Holzerk. Yet again, another 5-on-4 found by your opper.
Ooh. Half the health gone for Hunter. Grim will be happy backing off as that second smoke is set to fade away.
I think he's mostly using that smoke to try and get information towards the back of Catwalk. Listen for any footsteps so we can call out numbers.
m0NESY still prowling in middle as we go under a minute on the clock.
First, I put my stock tires back on.
Holzerk not wanting to overextend. It's a stalemate.
Nice.
No, wait.
Awesome.
Two oppers holding this angle.
He got picked off in the last round by sliding into this angle.
So he will have learned his lesson. JT going forward. m0NESY dealing with some short
How are you
aggression, but this
missing
time
that
he's gonna
shit,
miss.
m0NESY?
Second shot, he'll land it. 30 seconds on the clock. Bomb still top mid. Aggression in mid will not work out for JT. Grim gone.
Oh my
Shot
god,
for m0NESY,
GG.
and 1 kill away from grand finals.
Look how it all collapses so quickly.
Nyx will run to long. Heavy God is low, but we get the grand final everybody was secretly hoping for. In more than one way, Complexity have shed their star, and they show they can still perform. But it's only semi-finals that they will see, as m0NESY is going into the grand finals with G2 to face against the team he is set to sign for.
And that's just how it goes at PGL, guys. We just pray to all the right gods, and we get the